โอเคเชิญโยมท่านไหน
Good morning, everybody here in Seattle, Washington, USA, and also in Vancouver, Canada, and Thailand. Good evening. Must be some around 5:30 in Thailand, especially those who are always coming to the program of Dhamma and Vatapunyanantaram, Vancouver, Canada. And welcome again to the page of Dhamma. Today we will continue about the Buddhist discipline that we end up last time with the first direction or the second tisa, and today we will continue with the second direction. So as a student, and one should know and show the reverence to our teacher who is likened to be the called the right direction as follows. One tries to greet the teacher and show respect to the teacher. That is the first duty. And then one must approach the teacher to attend him, serve him, consult him, receive advice from him, etc. So on. One hearkens well so as to cultivate the wisdom. One should serve the teacher and runs the errands for him. So just go and check what he really need, the support. When he got some duty to do, we have to offer our support to him. One should learn the subject respectfully and earnestly, giving the task of learning. It is still really important. A teacher should support his student by teaching and training them to be good, guiding them to understanding, teaching the subject in full, and encouraging the student and praising their merit and abilities, providing protection for all directions, that is teaching and training them to so that they can actually use their learning to make a living and know how to conduct themselves well, having a guarantee for smoothly leading a good life and attaining happiness and prosperity. So these are the duty that has to be done for each other between a student and teacher. And then the third direction, as a husband, one should honor and support one's wife or husband, who is likened to be a reward direction as follows. One should honor her in accordance with her status as a wife. One does not look down on her. You have to really highly respect her. One does not commit adultery. One gives her control of the household concern. One should give her occasional gift or ornaments or like clothing. You have to allow her to go for shopping, selecting for her own favor. So a wife support her husband by keeping the household tidy, helping the relatives and friends of both sides, like husband side and wife side when you come into the family, and not committing the adultery, and try to safeguarding any wealth that has been acquired. And last one is being diligent to all her works. So this is the duty. Then let's see the fourth direction as a friend. This is very important that we are in the society and you still have a relationship with your friend. Make friend become a noble friends, or we call it กัลยาณมิตรทำมิตรให้เป็นกัลยาณมิตรทำบุคคลผู้ใกล้ชิดให้เป็นบุคคลซึ่งเรียกว่ากัลยาณมิตรซึ่งเป็นบุคคลผู้มีความดีความงาม So as a friend, one should conduct oneself towards one friends who are like to be the left direction as follow. One should share with them. One speak with them very kindly. One should helping each other. One is constant through their ups and down. Life is always in two direction, ups and down. So we have to stay along and keep them a support in the situation of up and down. One should be really faithful and sincere. This is what is called true friend. And then how friends reciprocate by protecting their friend when he is off guard, protecting their friend properties when he is off guard, being a refuge in time of danger. Maybe you have to allow your friend to reside with you during the situation of danger. You must taking care of them, offer them a place to stay, and not deserting their friend in a time of hardship, and respecting their friends, family, and relatives. So this friend between friends. The fifth direction as an employer, this is very important, who who are the boss, who are a director of the organization. So as an employer, one should support one's servants and employees who are like to be a lower direction as follow. One should assign them work in accordance with their strength, sex, age, and abilities. In order to remain, in order to keep or maintain the performance of the employees, one pay them a wage commensurate with their work and adequate for their livelihood. One pay them a wage, not only pay the wage, but one should be grant them a fringe, a benefit by, for example, providing a medical care in a time of sickness. One share with them a portion of any extra gain. One should give them appropriate holiday at a time for time to take a rest. And then let's see how servant or employee help his employer by starting work before him. You see? Yes. Stopping work after him. Taking only what is given by his employer is very, very important. This is the honesty. Doing his job well and seeking way to improve the duties or the function when you are performing your own job. You have to try to find a way that how to improve, how to more develop the product, the process, the production, spreading a good reputation about his employer and his business. Come to the sixth direction. As the Buddhist, one should show the reverence to the monk who like to be upper direction, is upper direction as follow. One act towards them a goodwill. One speak to them with a goodwill. One think of them with a goodwill. One receive them willingly. One support them with the four requisites. The four requisites like food, rope, shelter, and the medication or medicine. So how monks does in response? Monks should help lay people by enjoying them from the evil action, enjoy them in the goodness, assisting them with the kind intention, making known to them things not really hard before, and explain and clarifying things they have already heard, pointing them the way to heaven, teaching them the way to happiness or the prosperities. So these are the duties of the monk to the lay people in return. And then we can move on to the helping one another for the social harmony. Helping one another and contributing to create the social peace, the stability, the unity according to the four principle of integration that is called Sankhaha Vatu, the helpful integration. So let's check what are the Sankhaha Vatu. The first one is dana, giving, sharing, helping through the money or the material goods. The second one is piya vacha, the miracle, the amicable speech, helping through the words. Attachariya, helping action, helping through the physical or the mental effort. And the last one, sammanatata, the participation, the way that you come and join in doing some social work. That is called sammanatata, helping through the participation in a very constructive action and problem solving, being equally by virtue of a Dhamma and sharing them both well and woe. See, there's no bias. You try to help both, even your friend or foe. So these are the basic Buddhist discipline that we keep our society and peaceful and maintain the virtue of the society that could make everybody equally happy and peace. Now I would like to show some the steering life to its objectives. As a Buddhist, we have to set up the goal, and should be a 3 different level of goal through 3 objectives. One should conduct one life so as to attain the 3 level of the objectives, or we call it in Pali, we call it Attha, as follow. The level 1, Tithatham Mikatha, the temporal objective or a present benefit. So let's check how we approach that goal or objectives. Enjoying a good health, the physical fitness, the freedom, and freedom means the freedom from the maladies and really longevity. Having work and income, having really honest livelihood, and being economically self-reliant, having a good status and gaining the respect of the society. and then having a happy family, establishing a good reputation from of one's family. On the four objects that I mentioned should righteously achieve and utilize for the sake of oneself and others. And then we can move to the level 2 that is called Samplayikata. The spiritual objective for further benefit. How do we approach that? Being endowed with the warmth, deep appreciation, and helping, leading to the happiness, being not lonesome or unfirm, having an idea to adhere to so as to be strong with the faith, with their own faith, Being proud of the clean life, green life and clean life, of having done only a wholesome deed with the virtue, try to avoid from the unwholesome action, and being gratified in the worthwhile life, in having always done what is beneficial with the sacrifice, being courageous and having a confidence to resolve the problem, as well as a conduct and a duty with your own wisdom, and being secure or confident in having a guarantee for a future life in consequence of having done only a good deed. And then we can go up to the level 3. We call it Paramattha, the highest objective, the highest goal, or a greatest benefit. To approach this, we have to secure peaceful and stable mind, our own mind. We have to keep always develop, improve to become a really stable mind, unshakable, even when affected by the way of the world or confronted with the any sort of change. Not being distressed by clinging or attachment as to feel disappointed or sorrowful, having a mind that is always live clear and free. Being refreshed and cheerful, not really sullen or depressed, being radiant and free from the suffering, enjoying a genuine bliss. Being well aware of cause and condition and acting accordingly, leading life that is impeccable and bright, conducting oneself with the wisdom. This is the key. One who able to attain from the second level of the benefit upwards to is known as a wise man. This is what is called Bandita or Bandit, the wise man, the one who could approach the three objectives or a three level of life, three level of goal of life. You call Bandit or Bandita or a wise man. the three fronts of the objective. These three level of the objective should be really realized on three front. The first front is called attata. The objective for oneself or one's own benefit. The three level of the benefit explained already, which one should be realized for oneself or develop one into life to attain. Excuse me. And the second front is called parata. The objective from the others or other people's benefit. The three level of the benefits that I already explained above, which one should help other people successively achieve by guiding and encouraging them to develop their life. And the third front is called upayatta. The mutual objective or the benefit to both parties collectively benefit the happiness and the virtue of the community or the society, including the environmental condition that maybe the factors which we should help create and conserve in order to help both ourselves and others advance to the three level of the objective that I already mentioned above. So this is the three level of the goal in Buddhism. The one who could approach or achieve already the three goals, three levels of the Buddhist goal will be called as the Bandita, the wise man, the noble ones, as I mentioned earlier. So this is how we keep our community or the society not only in peace but wise. We call wise society because it's containing the wise people, the wise lay people. And then we can call this is the Buddhist of the leading type. So those Buddhists who are referred to as the Ubasaka or Ubasika. Ubasaka or Ubasika means those Buddhist lay followers are considered to be a Buddhist of a leading type. You are a leader of the society. You are a leader. You are the spiritual leader of the community. That is how Buddhists set up. You will be good. You will be respect whatever setting. They must be really steadfast and firmly established in the principle to serve as an example for the Buddhists in general. Apart from observing the Buddhist discipline, they must possess the 5 qualities of the Buddhist lay followers. We call it Ubasok Tham or Ubasaka Dhamma. There are 5 items. The first one, they have faith, the belief, being endowed with the wisdom they are not given to a blind faith. There's a wise faith and blind faith. The leader must having a really wise faith, so the faith that has been endowed with the wisdom, having a confidence in the triple James, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, neither being shaken nor faltering. They adhere to the Dhamma and as the principle or the supreme cause. And then they must have the morality, the sila, the morality, apart from maintaining themselves in the 5 precepts, 8 precepts, having a right livelihood, they should undertake the 8 observance on due occasion. Sometimes you have to keep not only the 5 precepts, we also upgrade yourself to maintain the higher level of the morality that is called 8 precept. In some occasion. Why? Because we need our life to be developed so that their life can be happy, can be happier, depending on the depending very less on the material needs. Thus, we can reduce harm and increasing the benefits for others. They always mention that the 5 precept and the 8 precept the 5 precept is the must morality that we have to maintain. And if you want to develop more in terms of the morality as a tool to develop your physical or status in the society, to support the practice in Dhamma, one has to also maintain or occasionally the 8 precept. And then they do not get carry away the superstition they believe to aspiring to result from their own deed to their own effort in rational way. They are not really excited by run more superstition or talisman of like lucky charm. They do not aspire to result from praying or the miracle. There is no miracle in Buddhism. Everything is happen accordingly to the cause and condition. And then they do not seek the gift worthy outside of their teaching, outside the Buddhism. They do not grasp as a few of the merit or the miracle workers or holy personalities that are outside of the Buddhist principle. They should apply themselves in supporting and helping with the Buddhist cause, should attend or initiate and support the clarity work in accordance with the teaching of the perfectly enlightened one. So these are the Buddhists of the leading type or the spiritual leader in Buddhism. Today, I would like to introduce the topic that is called the human being and the being a human. There are two different words that I brought today: human being and being a human. As we all know that the man is a noble being. We are a member of the human race. So human beings are really special, unlike any other kinds of the animals. What makes them special? The action that make human being special is Sikha. What is Sikha like? Sikha is an education, namely learning, training, and developing. So human beings who have been trained, well educated, or well developed are called a noble being. They know how to conduct a good life for themselves and also helping a society fare securely in peace and happiness. These are the quality of the noble being. According to the definition of the Buddha. To be truly involved in the education, human being, especially children or young people who are new member of the human race, should acquire the 7 fundamental quality known as aura of a good life, or the dawns of the education. These are really a guarantees of a good life moving towards full human development, to the people becoming truly noble beings. When you wake up in the morning before sunrise, before the sun starts shining, you will see the beams as always. That is the auras or the dawns of the education of life. The first one is Kalyamittata, having a good friend. A person or a society that living in the society or a social environment that is helpful to the one life development, seeking our source of the wisdom and good example. This is to live with or be close to a good people, beginning with the one's parents as a good friend, your dad and your mom is the first group of a noble friend or Kalyana. So the family is the seed to know who to associate with and to socialize with the good people who will influence, and encourage each other to a betterment to in conduct, mentality and wisdom, and develop the communication and also the relationship with the fellow human being through a goodwill, to have a faith, to follow a good example, that is to know how to utilize the external resources, be they people, book, other sort of communication media for seeking a knowledge and virtue for life development, problem solving, and constructive action. The second one, we call it Sila Sampata, the perfection of the morality, having a discipline as a foundation for life development. This is to know how to organize lifestyle, activities, work, environment, so that they can provide the opportunities for the personal growth, at least to have a basic level of the morality, that is, for example, to have proper conduct in the relationship. You need the proper conduct, honest conduct with a social environment by living healthfully, and also exploitatively, what I would say, beneficial society, with the social environmental living a good healthy society, and also respect the relationships between you and your society, member of the society. Sometimes we have to offer the material offering, sharing the necessity, for example, good clothes, shelter, and medication, as well as the technological appliance and equipment is in a way that support the quality of life, and is really make your society or your own life become more favorable through the education, to constructive action, to the state of balance in the nature. You see, this is the benefit, really great benefit of the Sila, or we call it Sila Sampata, the perfection of the morality. And then the next one, the Chanta Sampata. What is a Chanta Sampata like? It's the perfection of aspiration. Means having a heart that aspire to learning and constructive action. This is to be one like who is driven by a desire for knowledge, goodness, action, constructiveness, achievement, even excellence, by desire to help all things and people one meets or like involved with in order to attain a good state. Not obsessively thinking only of getting what we want and seeking a pleasure through consuming, which is only drags one into the whirlpool of heedlessness and contention, Instead, one should know how to use the faculties such as eye, ear in learning and to derive joy from learning and doing good things.
นั่นนะโอ้เนาะ
Then the next one is called the Atta Sampata, the perfection of the oneself. Dedicating oneself to the training for the realization of full human being potential. This is always should be bear in mind that the truth human being by nature are being that can be trained and must be trained actually and that once trained are the most excellent or of being. Then to resolve the training oneself so that one can view the difficulties, hardship, or the obstacle or problem as training ground to test and develop one intelligence and ability to pay heed to continue in improvement towards the realization of the full potential to the comprehensive understanding or development that can encompass the behavior, mentality, and the wisdom. So this is the first one, the fourth one, the Atta Sampata, or the perfection of the oneself. And then the next one is called Titti Sampata, the perfection of will. Adhering to the principle of the conditionality, seeing things according to the cause and effect. Actually, this is to be established in the good and reason principle of thought and belief. At least adhering to the principle of the conditionality, the principle that leading to the consideration, investigation of the your own life, or making a research as the way to the wisdom development, and believing that the action is the most powerful determinant, because the Buddhist is a religion of action, a Kammawati. This is what it means. The powerful determinant of life is an action. It's the faith in action. It is also having a behavior and a mental state that are under the control of reason. Even though one should aspire to the highest achievement and the excellence, one should realize what is possible within limitation of oneself, of the cause and condition. This kind of the quality of the mind leading to what is called สันตุฏฐิ or ในภาษาไทยเราเรียกว่าสันโดษ So you become the one who really realize the cause and the condition that exist and has to be created in success. Not forget oneself. One in the failure, sometimes one is not despondent, one one has to maintain the mental clarity and become independent, not being impulsive or over reactive, or what we call petty, and also not allowing oneself to drift along the stream of the public hysteria I'm sorry, or values. Then the next one, we call it appamata sampata, the perfection of heedfulness. So one has to establish oneself in the heedfulness. This is to be aware of the impermanence, to realize the instability, unendurability, and the insubstantiality of life, of all things around me, around you, around everyone, which are constantly changing according to the cause and condition. We are in changing moment from one moment to from one moment to the next moment. It's always change. The instability that one has to follow all the time, that is called appamata sampata. The change can be internally or externally. One should see that cannot afford to be complacent. One should see really preciousness of the time and strive to learn about the prevent, rectify the cause of decline, and bring about the cause of growth. You see, this is really a wonderful state of mind when your mind is in the appamata sampata. ถ้าจิตของเราไม่ประมาทนะครับเราติดตามความเคลื่อนไหวติดตามการเปลี่ยนแปลงอยู่ตลอดเวลาการเปลี่ยนแปลงของทุกอย่างรอบตัวเราเพราะจริงๆแล้วทุกอย่างรอบตัวเราเปลี่ยนแปลงแม้กระทั่งตัวเราเองก็กำลังเปลี่ยนแปลงแต่ถ้าเรามีจิตที่ไม่ประมาทคืออัปปมาทสัมปทาเราจะเป็นบุคคลผู้ปลอดภัยเราจะเป็นอยู่อย่างปลอดภัยเพราะเราก้าวไปพร้อมๆกับการเปลี่ยนแปลงของโลกก้าวไปพร้อมๆกับการเปลี่ยนแปลงสิ่งที่อยู่รอบตัวเรารวมทั้งตัวเราด้วยนั่นเรียกว่า internal instability because you will keep your eyes on the thing that declining, the thing that growing, so you are become a growth because you're moving forward. You become a prosperity using one time right, even night and day, to the greatest benefit. And then come to the last one, that is called Yoniso Manasikan Sampata, the perfection of wise reflection. What it is something that thinking wisely so as to realize the benefit and seeing the truth. The systematic consideration, or we call it Yoniso Manasikala. This is the key, this is the heart for the one who being a wise man or a noble being. This is to know how to think. The Yoniso Manasikala. The meaning is very simple for me. you know how to think, you know how to investigate, to be able to see all things as they really are within the system of the cause and condition. By intelligently examining, investigating, or tracing, or I call it analyzing, and doing some researching to see the truth of the given situation, or to see the perspective that will enable one to benefit from it. So by doing so, we will able to solve the problem because we know the truth, we know the cause of the problem, because we dig it up, we go deeper to the root of the problem. That's how we can, through the process of investigation and examination, we can know the cause. And that is what we call yoniso manasikara in Buddhism. The systemic consideration, investigation. And that's how leading you to solve the problem and doing things successfully through the intelligent methods that allow us to be self-reliant and at the same time become refuge to other people. This is because of yoniso manasikara. So this is the 7 items, or I call it 7 beams that you will see before the sunrise in early morning. Or in Pali we call it บุพนิมิต or ในภาษาไทยเรารู้จักกันในชื่อของบุพนิมิต ก่อนที่ดวงอาทิตย์จะส่องแสงให้ความสว่างกับโลกจะมีรังสีจะมีบีมขึ้นมาก่อนเสมอคนเราก่อนที่จะประสบความสำเร็จในชีวิตจะต้องมีความสมบูรณ์ทั้ง7ชนิดอย่างที่ผมได้กล่าวมา 7 beams of success บุพนิมิตนี่เป็นธรรมะที่ผมนำมาฝากกับทุกท่านในเช้าวันนี้เพื่อเป็นกำลังใจให้กับทุกๆคนญาติโยมทุกๆคนที่เข้ามาฟังแล้วก็เข้ามาเสพธรรมะเข้ามาเรียนรู้ธรรมะไม่ใช่เป็นเพียงผู้เสพแต่เป็นผู้ศึกษาด้วยก็จะทำให้เกิดประโยชน์เหมือนกับแสงทองรังสีแสงทองที่ปรากฏให้เราเห็นก่อนที่ดวงอาทิตย์จะทำหน้าที่ส่องสว่างให้กับชาวโลกวันนี้ผมก็ได้นำสิ่งดีๆมาฝากนำธรรมะดีๆมาฝากเพื่อให้เป็นกำลังใจกับทุกท่านได้ดำเนินชีวิตอย่างมีสติใช้ปัญญาประกอบในการดำเนินชีวิต and I hope this program, this Bupanimit, so 7 items of the Bupanimit should benefit and shining your life like the sun that shining the world. And we will come back to see you again next Saturday morning. And I would like to pay respect to Buddha to give you a blessing for healthy, wealthy, and prosperity. And we come back to see you next Saturday morning. I will pass this back to Ajahn Chawatai.
ส่วนที่ชั่วอย่าไปรู้ของเขาเลยจะหาคนดี ส่วนเดียวอย่ามัวเที่ยวค้นหาสหายเอ่ยเหมือนเที่ยวหาหนูเต่าตายเปล่าเลยฝึกให้เคยมองแต่ดี